Okay. So let's start. Yeah, so last time we started development on the game again after a long time doing stuff with the editor. And first thing we did was add a flying monster, a new monster here, which is the first sort of flying monster that we have in game. So now we have kind of semi-support for that type of monster, you know. I'm thinking also maybe I should go over the monster code a little bit now that we're adding more, because it's starting to feel a little bit unwieldy. So I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out maybe a better way to organize it, maybe. We'll see. But I think that now I want to add another monster, I thought, because I do have some graphics for another monster. And so the first thing that we're gonna do is add a new entity type. So I'll just go through the process here, and we'll add some wait, what was it called? Undblomma. Yeah, I guess it's like a dash here, or we'll do it like this. Okay. Now we want to add a new texture. Actually, oh, this doesn't work. I have to import a new texture here. Oh, it already exists. Okay. So then let's do that, and there we go. And the cell size, I believe, is like 16 by 32 maybe. There we go. So now we have this guy here. We'll save that. Next up is animations. I'm not sure if I actually added some animations. So here's the spawn animation. Right. And let's see if we can add maybe what would we have, like an idle. So there's a couple of animations that you need spawn, idle. Let's see, what do you have? Walk is not necessary if you're not walking. We need death, hit particles. Yeah, these two are like required. So idle, death, and hit particles. Okay. So idle, I'm just gonna do now. I kind of made this a bit weird here. This is like, it doesn't feel like this is like totally done. Maybe we should just edit a little bit here. Okay, so this is like the base, and then we have, and then I'm changing like the flowers a little bit. So maybe this could be idle. Or maybe the idle is just one frame actually. But I still want to add, I need to add some way of this guy attacking or something. Okay, so let's just have that add that as idle there. Death we don't really have. I'm just gonna despawn, I guess. I don't know. Actually, why not? Like, it just goes back to whatever it was before. Okay. And then hit particles we don't really have, so let's actually add that a little bit. I'm just gonna add some of these, like things. All right. There we go. Hit particles. Okay, maybe a little bit faster. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Okay, so well, now we have like the basics. We need some sort of attack. Maybe a projectile attack? We already sort of have projectiles in the game, so wouldn't be that much of a hassle to add. I'm thinking maybe taking well, let's take you. And we'll just I'm gonna make a sort of ball here. I don't know. something like this. Then we'll loop that. So let's add something called like, I don't know, projectile. Alright, it's got more like a pulsing motion that I was thinking about, but I don't know. Alright, well, let's stick with that. Save that. Okay, so now we have... we don't really have like an attack animation, I guess. We could... I'm thinking of using these two. So we can just do... like if you copy this. And then... put these over here. Kind of hard to tell, maybe. Maybe we'll like extend these a little bit. Okay, and then let's also have one where it's like more like this. So attack. Yeah, it looks quite weird, but let's increase this to like 0.5. I will stay on this frame for so you can see now that this is idle, and then it goes into this, which is like, now I'm gonna attack you, and then it like does the attack. All right. Okay, so now we have basically all the parts here that we need. So yeah, that's the animation. So we got animations, we've got the entity, we have the texture. So let's just add it into somewhere. I think maybe here. let's remove this guy. We'll add this over here. Alright. Now, of course, we don't really have this enemy in the game yet, so we have to implement it as well. But now we can, you see how it's nice that you can sort of create the thing in the editor and sort of create animations and everything, and then we just import that in the game engine. So let's go over here and go over to the game code, and we'll go to our monsters. So yeah, the monster system is starting to get a little bit busy. There's a lot of stuff. It's like a mix and match. It's like a mix between generic code and also like specific code. It's like, yeah, it's like a mix between having like generic handlers for stuff, which is nice to have, and then also like almost like the monsters are, they have like interfaces, or they are like almost like inherited, they inherit some functionality, except it's not like inheritance, it's more like it's more like, well, Zig can check if, for example, we have whatever function it is, this function, for example. If we have this function, then it's going to call this instead of the generic function. So it's like overrides, basically. So it's almost like this pattern that I'm using here is almost like inheritance, actually. Which is kind of moving away from the whole ECS part, but yeah, it's like, so that's what I said like last stream, like use the right tool for the right thing. And here, to me, it made more sense to have like this type of generic code, or it made more sense to me in the moment, so I went with that. But it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we still use ECS. I can still utilize the benefits of using ECS. It's not really a hindrance to anything. It's actually a real helpful, because it allows you to get it. It can allow you to get. It's like a container for all the things, so you could, if you want to play your body, you don't have to pass it here, you could get it through other means as well. If you want to get anything else, you can get it through the ECS register. So it's actually a really nice way to pass things around, and also like and almost like a really shallow sort of dependency ecosystem as well, because you can get the allocator through the ECS registry, or the ECS like container. You can also get like other stuff like the texture container, and like anything you want, basically you can put there, and you can get it from anywhere. So as long as we pass the register around, we can basically get to anything in the game. And so it's more like it's more like a tool that I'm using to do things. And then when it fits, for example here, when we want to have like a no friction thing that we don't really want to add to some sort of game object or whatever, we just have it as I just have it as a component, and I can add it to I can handle that component in whatever system that I want. And so it's like, yeah, I'm using all the tools at my disposal here. So it's basically, the way I'm doing it is I have this very generic sort of monster AI component, which, I mean, it's not really AI, it's more like it's a monster component. So it has basically everything that's needed for the monster, almost like everything that's needed for the monster to work, except for things that are other sort of components, such as the physics body and other stuff that is like common between entities, such as the horizontal direction to determine the sprite direction and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, it's like a mix and match. So there's no one stopping you from, if you run ECS, there's no one stopping you from also using inheritance. So if that makes sense, then why not, you know? Ignore this. So anyway, yeah, and so for example, here we have a bunch of, you know, super generic flags that just exist on the component itself that everything could have. Then we have type, which is specific to each monster type. So this is like very specific to each monster type. So this is kind of where the inheritance comes in. So it's like we have both generic things, but then we also have sort of the overrides happening in here. But there's a lot of like boilerplatey stuff that you need to do. And once I went back here after being away for a while, it took me some time to actually understand how everything was put together. And I mean, it didn't take that long, but it took some time. And I mean, that's true for every system. Like everything that you do, well, like every system, if you're away from it for a while, you have to like, how did this work again? How was this set up? You have to like go in and understand it again. But at least it wasn't, like, you know, impossible to extend this. And but I'm thinking just going and adding more stuff to it. We will see sort of what kind of pattern could we use to sort of improve on what we have here. But anyway, so let's add this creature here. So we need one of these things. So I'm just gonna copy this basically. And I'm gonna rename all this. Alright. And we can go back here and we can say open. Okay, and now let's go back here. And now we can say open here. So this part is a little bit boilerplate and feels a bit unnecessary. I have to figure out a better way to do this, but alright, so now we have that. And now we should get a whole bunch of places where we have to handle all the possibilities, you know. But let's start at the actual sort of structure itself. Now, let's see what we do. We can remove these two. We don't have any sort of speed that we're talking about. Hitbox is fine, I guess. I mean, it's gonna be, let's do like, I don't know, 10. It should be fine. Also, this should be 0, I think. Yeah. Wait, from center. From center, 0. Should be, I think it should be like this, and then this would be, yeah, I think something like that, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. And then we have health. Let's do 2, I guess. I don't know. Can aggro is like, sure. No, let's say we can't aggro maybe. As soon as we've spawned, it's gonna attack us, I think. Oh yeah, textures we also need to add. There we go. Oh yeah, animations. Oh yeah, we need the ID here. No. Animations. Here's the ID. Alright. There we go. Now we should have those things. Cancel attack if hit. Stun if hit. Let's put these to false. Static. It's not flying. It's sort of static in the way that it shouldn't have a knockback. You shouldn't be able to push it. So in that way it's actually static. Let's just say it's static. Now idle, do we actually need this, or do we have a generic handler for that? So if we don't have it, we just like, if we don't have it, shouldn't we just set the state ourselves? So let's see, do we have anything here? Bärling, Iverbloss, Klet, Mossing, Mastin. This one does walk, this one has that. Walk. This one has that. This one. Oh yeah, let's see. Iverbloss and Bärling. So I'm thinking, like, if we don't have it, then shouldn't we just set the state? Okay, and well, basically we don't need an implementation for this. Well, maybe we'll need it in the future, but I'm just gonna do this. Should attack. I think it doesn't matter what the distance is. I think these guys are always gonna attack. And then the attack is, I guess, shoot. Yeah, we need some more information there. Execute attack. Do we have a special, like no, everything is special. There's no generic handler for this. We might have a generic handler for shoot. We'll see. So let's see. We get all of these things. Right, so we're setting the direction. We're not really hurting. Let's see, direction to player. Yeah, so it's not gonna be a homing thing. It's not gonna be like, it's gonna be go in a straight line. So we can remove this. It's gonna be the same direction as this. We don't move anything. Okay. So here we basically wanna spawn something. So let's well, actually, we'll go to, what is it called? Create. You have throw here. Yeah, this thing. Spawn rock at. Spawn rock. This should really be part of only the thing that can spawn a rock, which is only the cleat right now, but right, so here we are actually, we're creating a new thing. We're simply creating a new entity and adding a bunch of stuff to it. I'm gonna copy that, go back here, and we'll add a function spawn projectile. Right, shield blocks should be true, right? Yeah. Destroy and touch type player, yes. I guess we'll take all, both rock or ground and player. Run function at destroy and touch. So right, so this one was before because you for the rock you wanted to have a bit like, because it's spawning in a kind of weird way. It might spawn in the middle of a wall or something. I'm just gonna do this for now, and we'll see if we need it later. Here we have animation. You want to get projectile. Wait. Okay, this is a bit weird, sort of container instance, I guess you could call it. So it would be monster container instance, because then we don't have to specify that it's cleat. So we can get from the current sort of animation data, we can get the animation. Here we get the texture. Can we get that from here? No. Okay, and then we grab the newly added animation there, and we set the animation to be projectile true. What do you mean true here? Talking about magic numbers here. Alright, looping true. Yes, it should be looping. Start this animation, yes. One second. Okay. Texture components. Let's see. Registry and price items. Right, we're adding the texture to the projectile, and we're playing a sound. Sure, why not? Then we have size. I think we lower that a little bit, and we'll call it projectile size. The position is position should be the monster body position plus monster direction, so it's like a little bit offset there, and then it should also be plus y a little bit, or yeah, negative only y, I don't know, like 6 or something. We'll see, we'll adjust it accordingly. And this could also be one of the things where, okay, maybe we want to have like anchor points, so we can use those instead of relying on hard-coded positions, you know. But I'm not exactly sure on what is a good way to add those, if it's going to be in the animation itself, it's going to be on the sprite sheet, like when do you actually, where's a good place to define that? So animation is probably a good place, because and in animations you could well, I guess in 3D models you have anchor points. They are on the actual model itself. They are also like, you could have like anchor points on the animations. I've seen that. Although that's probably like old tech, I don't know. But like anchor points, so then it would make sense to have it on the sprite sheet, I guess. It wouldn't really change much. Okay. Well, anyway, that's gonna be something for later, I think. Whenever it becomes a problem, it's like, okay, if we go into, I think that's gonna be when maybe we have a basic idea in place, and then when we wanna sort of refactor or like do a lot of like balancing adjustments and stuff, then it would be nice to have those kind of things, because it becomes way easier to change things. But okay, so let's see, physics system, I guess it could be on the entity type as well. Well, we'll see. Yeah, so we're adding a physics body. This should all be fine. So actually this projectile, oh yeah, what we could do, actually we could add a no gravity component. Because yeah, that's actually really cool, because then we can go to wherever we negate gravity. Yeah, like here. Instead of doing this, super special case for Irblos, you know, for the one first flying monster that we have, we can go to our game code update, and we'll go to, I don't know, this. this is the friction stuff. What we could do is before friction we can, or is it after? Well, it's gonna affect the acceleration, I guess. Friction is not affecting acceleration. It's only velocity. Position. No, oh yeah, this is, no, here we're actually, yeah, this one does acceleration, but it's only like adding stuff, so it should be safe to do. So here, for example, we're gonna apply no gravity. So we'll go through. Sure. Let's do this. We have a view of no gravity and rigid body. And we'll make an iterator there, and we'll go through each thing. Entity. Right, and right, we don't have an if. We just get the body from the view and we set I think what we'll do is we'll do add so basically like removing the gravity from the acceleration, which is going to be added later in the physics system because we don't have a way of disabling the gravity right now, I don't think. I mean, we do have something called dynamic in the physics system, but I don't remember how to actually use it. But anyway, oh yeah, we need a physics system as well. We should probably just pass them. Okay. Oh yeah, that was for the ladder stuff. Okay, so now we have that. Now we actually need to go modify either blocks again because we need to add no gravity here. Okay. Alright, so back to our und Blomma here. Right, so now we can add no gravity to the projectile and no friction. Cool. Alright, yeah, these things we don't really need. Here's the vector that we need to move the thing. So we're taking the right throw strength. Call it projectile speed times the mass, sure, and the angle. The angle is gonna be the monster direction to radians. Alright, that's the movement. So attack duration is basically gonna be like the cooldown. So I'm just gonna say, I don't know, something here. Three seconds, something. This doesn't exist. Alright, that's the duration. Right. Well, okay, yeah, so we can remove this. And I guess we set the state. We're not doing that. We don't need. Fine. Right. Shoot. No, we don't need you. Actually, know what? We don't actually need this anymore. We can just do this. Yeah. All right. So projectile speed. What is projectile speed? Let's just set it to, I don't know. Something there. Alright, and then end attack. We don't really need to do anything. Handle hunt player, we don't need. Okay. Should attack is just checking the cooldown. Now what we do need to do is add an attack type called shoot. Now this could be, we could model this to be like a very generic way of spawning projectiles. But I'm just gonna do the very basic now. I'm just gonna say spawn projectile at. That's what we need. And I guess we could have play sound at as well. Right. So when are we actually calling spawn rock? Well, let's initialize this first. So this should be like spawn projectile at and t plus spawn projectile delay play sound at spawn projectile sound delay, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we'll have to go to the editor and check on the animations, attack animation. So I think we want to start the sound when it starts to do this thing, which is at half a second. So this would be play sound at half a second. Okay, and then this is where we actually want to do the attack. We want to do it slightly after. So this starts at 2, so maybe 2.1 or something. And this is also one area where we could have more metadata regarding the animations. Maybe you can set like, okay, this is where you should spawn the projectile, this is when you should spawn the projectile. So we have that metadata, so we could just load that in here and it will automatically fix it for us here. But let's do it like this for now. So now we have that information. Now we can use it somewhere. So I want to go and see, where are we calling this function here? Here we're saying spawn rock, and we're checking if our tag type is throw. So this is sort of like the generic handling. So I think we just add it here. Let's just add it if the is shoot. Right, so here we also see that we actually need to keep track of when it spawned, because the time here might not always line up exactly with spawn rock at or spawn projectile at. It might actually like be a little bit off, and then we can't really know, okay, did we spawn a thing yet or not? So let's keep this in mind, and I will add that here. We'll just set that to false. So I'm gonna add a generic function for this. And we'll do a switch. Yeah, we have the monster AI, so let's put that in there. Here we go. So we only need registry entity and time. So which one is this? Alright, idle stuff. Wait. So if we're walking, well, it's not gonna walk, so. Speed. Yeah. Execute attack. What? Entity registry we can remove. Okay, now what is this? Okay. What? Okay, I'm gonna guess it has nothing to do with this because this is not comp time anyway, so. Okay, and now we don't get the error anymore, so. I don't know. What if we save here? Do we get it? Yes. Okay, so there's something weird going on. Evaluation exceeded 1,000 backward branches. I'll just Google that. Alright, so it seems to be a limit to how much the comp time evaluation is doing stuff. So I think what we'll do is we can set it this. The default is 1,000, so if my idea is that if we set it to, if we like double it, let's say we just have such like added so much complexity to our code that it has exceeded this. I don't know, but or it could be like some sort of infinite loop somewhere. But my idea is that if we just double it and then we're fine if we don't get the error anymore. However, if we still get the error, then that might be some weird infinite loop somewhere in the program. So we'll just try this, I think. So let's save here again. Okay, still says 1,000. Does it say where we should put it? Wait, example. Where's the example? Compile time code execute can use before giving up. Okay. Let's restart the LSP. So it still says 1000. So do I have to set it in like where it's gonna be? So okay, let's let's go back to main and remove this. And what we'll do is to get a better understanding here, I'm gonna do F5. So I'm gonna try and compile here, or start the program, which will compile, and then we'll get a better error message here, because this will say exactly where it happened. Oh, is this the UAID stuff? Oh, I see. Wait. No, animation. Okay. So apparently in here we have a lot of comp time stuff happening, but the deserialization of stuff. So I don't know. If we try this. Okay, now it went away. Okay, fine. So I think it was just because we're doing so much of these deserialization stuff in comp time that it failed. Which is not my sort of algorithm, is using this library here. But apparently there's a lot of branches happening in here, so I guess that's why it failed when I added another one of these. Okay, but now it should be good. So let's see. At least there was no like infinite loop or anything. Okay, but we don't have any more compiler errors. So I guess we can just try it. Let's launch the, I think it's this one. Okay. Wait, but okay, it should be spawning, I think. Wait, why? Oh, I need to add it here as well. I need to add it. Wait, I need to add it here. Here, this one, yeah. Oh, also, I just realized one very important thing. We have to go to our entity type. We have to set the name correctly. There. Alright, now we should get an error somewhere here. Yes. And we simply add this as, I think, here. And there we go. Actually, yeah, here as well. There we go, that should be fine. Oh, did you see that? It just went straight through there. Okay. So the no gravity did not work, obviously. Or did we add no gravity? Oh, we're not adding no gravity here. Wait, which one did? Oh, we added it to the projectile, but not the monster itself. Okay. So we need to add it here. That's right. So there we go. Wait, no, this is wrong. Now it's there. It sort of blends into the environment, which is kind of the thing that I'm going for here. And there you can see it spawned, but then we are crashing when it tries to attack, I guess. So let's check the logs. Unreachable code, monster 920, attack, hitbox wrecked. Okay. Right. Oh, we can set her set to null. Okay, that makes sense. So actually, the Irblos, we don't actually want to have that then. That makes sense. Wait, where is this? Oh, it's here. Right, so we'll remove this. We'll go to Irblos and we go to Hertzat. We set this to null. Or you null as well. Yeah, we can just remove them. And there we go. Now we don't need to worry about that. Okay. And let's go over here. No. Here. Execute attack. We don't have any of these. And we can just set you to attack cooldown directly there. There we go. Let's try it now. Okay. Right, so we're missing some parts of the chain here. Right, so we're setting the state to attack. That should set the that should cause this. Oh, we're not setting the animation. Okay. Right, so we're setting animation here. Okay. Sure. And register the animation start, true, looping false, 90, yeah. And I guess it could end at the animation duration. So we will copy this instead. There we go. Oh, and now we actually need register and entity. Alright. So now we should set the animation. However, there was no what do you call it? There was no projectile spawning. The animation should be set now, but here projectile spawn is false. If attack type is shoot and we're not spawned and T is more than we get to spawn projectile at, then we spawn a projectile, set that to true. Here we're checking on type if we have the spawn projectile function. We will call that function. Here is that function. Should we have to make it public maybe? Actually, yeah, we can just move to this place here. Oh, we crashed. Capitalized. That could also be something that we can generate code for in Zig actually. There we can see, and there comes this projectile. It's spawned a little bit off, like way much to the right, and But yeah, it works. Cool. Okay, but anyway, let's move this. It's good to play a bit to get, you know, a good feel for it sometimes. I think so. Let's see. It's good to check if it's fun or not. I don't know. But anyway, it's very early still in development, so we don't have to have this, I don't think, so we'll remove that. Oh yeah, we should check if these work. I'm pretty sure they do because they work from before, but what did I want to check? I had a position here. So the position, the Y position, a little bit too far up, and the X is way far back. There we go. That's much better. Maybe the projectile is too fast. Okay, you can see me not dodging it, but shield blocking it there. And also, if you, I want to try if you stand here, you should block it. Yeah. Okay, now I want to try this. Let's see if we add one. Let's add one over here as well. Oh, it stops there. Okay, I need it to be a little bit more. I want it to basically be a tile up, so it should be a little bit up. Maybe the flower should be a little bit taller then. Let's just see how tall it should be first. So let's modify that thing a bit here. Could actually do like we add y instead. Okay, so if it's 32, then it's like 16 is the middle. So we have to add, I don't know, 8. Well, it depends on. So we add 8, but then we subtract half of the projectile size, so 3. So now it will be like properly. Wait, let's lower down. Oh, it should be, wait, it should be -3, I think. Or should it just be -8, maybe? I mean, you should be able to dodge it, of course. -8 might be too much. Maybe -5 is the better one. And I do also realize maybe the shield is too low when actually standing up. You should have the shield like further up. Okay, so now it's not hitting at least. Okay, now we're actually blocking the top one. But I wanted to have like, you know, I want the shield to be further up because it shouldn't block lower projectiles. So I think the shield should be raised up to be like above this, to be up here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add it now, but I wanna add that as a to-do here. It's the player stuff. Okay, but the basic thing is done. I just need to fix the monster, like the Alright. Let's also add the universe. Okay. And yeah, and so we need and we might need to do that on Cleat as well once we've changed the shield for on the player. Let's see, where is this? All right. Oops. What happened there? Okay. So. Okay. Got a new monster in here. Cool. What now? Guess we can play through it a little bit here. I'm gonna try implementing like a basic kill quest or something. That shouldn't be too hard. And see how difficult it is to get to the next, to get to the unfinished parts here. Maybe I should increase the jump height like a slight amount so you don't have to like... It always feels like you're barely getting up there. Alright, I made it. Okay, so okay, I mean, I basically did what I was set out to do here. One thing that I would like to add, I mean, I know that I'm gonna have some sort of drops from the monsters. Like they're gonna drop something that you're gonna be using as a resource for something. But I don't really know if how will that work? Like, do you buy upgrades at the village, which was my idea at first, where you gather like resources and you buy upgrades, and or buy, I don't know, items. Maybe you can buy items like consumables, or maybe buy, I don't know. It's not really all that super thought out yet. You could also go the route of, okay, maybe you gather experience and you upgrade. You have like a tech tree, or not a tech tree, but a skill tree. You could do like something like that as well. I've been toying around with that thought as well, like, because and then add a bunch of like abilities that you can use, sort of like Diablo or something, and then you can like choose a path that you want to take and try to improve your character, because that also like increases replayability as well, because next time you might want to go another route or something, because like I think most Metroidvanias are basically you're gonna get the same. Well, the upgrades that you get are mostly for being able to go to places where you haven't been before, and then there are some upgrades that of course upgrades your characters like combat abilities as well. But I feel like most of the Metroidvanias that I played, it doesn't do any like sort of more like RPG type things where you can actually choose a path for your character, like choose a different skill set of your character so that the combat feels different. It would be cool if I could get something like that, but that feels like a huge task. But it would be a really cool thing if we got that to work. I think maybe we'll just add a bunch of different abilities, and we'll just see what feels fun, and then maybe structure it a bit. I don't know. But it would be cool. It would be cool to go that route. But it feels like a very daunting task, especially when it's already kind of an ambitious project. It feels like, at least for me. So I just wanna. Well, I think I'm not gonna go that route in the demo, at least. I'm just gonna try and the demo is just gonna be like the first area, which I'm trying to make now, and maybe something where the monsters drop something that you're gonna be able to bring back to the village and buy things there, like consumables or something. I don't know. We'll see. I do have more like lore and stuff, and I do have more like characters that I'm thinking of, but mostly like the gameplay is very in flux right now, exactly how I want it to be. Like the things that we have right now, like a melee combat, monsters that spawn in like they do like that. That's pretty much what I want to have. But then beyond that, it's like I want more depth to the combat. I want more depth to the gameplay when you move about the map and stuff. So I'm gonna have to figure something out there. Maybe we'll just start add stuff and we'll see what sticks. Something like that. That could be a way to go. Just brainstorm out some things and try to just add them and see what works. Yeah. But I think I'll be good there. I think, yeah. I'm gonna need to eat some stuff now anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. So thanks very much for watching. We'll see when the next time will be. I'm not sure, but I do want to continue fleshing out this new, or the first area. I need to also make some new assets for the tree type environment, which I don't have anything there yet. So I need to add some stuff to the tile map, or to the tile set, and add some decals and stuff, and that would be cool. So have a new sort of area, and I'm not sure if that new area will have, if it's gonna be more like a dungeony type thing. I think that the upgrade will probably be behind some sort of puzzle and combat challenge, you know. Usually you have that sort of thing in games. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to kind of brainstorm. Okay, what kind of puzzles could we add to the game? Like how could the puzzles work? What kind of things do we want to add? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.